Well, everyone, I am entering the town of Alamo in Tennessee. Here's a map real quick. Show you where I'm at. And here's the population history. Peak population 1980, 2,615 people. Down to 2336 in the last census. But in 2023, the town had gained some population, 2565. Median age is 34. And with that, I'm approaching downtown. This is the Crockett County seat, and that is the Crockett County Courthouse. Are you putting two and two together yet? The town is named Alamo, and this is Crockett County. If you said because of David Crockett, you're right. This county is named after David Crockett, who was born right here in Tennessee. Not in this part of Tennessee. He was born in eastern Tennessee in a little town called Limestone. And of course, the town is named Alamo because that is where Davy Crockett died. He died fighting in the Alamo. So this is the Crockett County Courthouse. This was built in 1874 at a cost of $21,000, I was reading. This is classical revival architecture, a very subdued version of that architecture. Now that, of course, is ancient Greece, usually modeled after the ancient Greek temples. It is a beautiful building. There's only one other building on the National Register here, and that is it right there. That's the Bank of Alamo, built in 1912. And that's where the mayor's office is now. That is classical revival as well. They have an extensive memorial here. Let's take a quick look. Blue Star Memorial, tribute to the armed forces who have defended the United States of America. Yeah, a lot of work was put into this. Here's the ethnic breakdown. 66% white, 23% Hispanic, 7% black, 1% Asian. Rest is mixed race. Median household income is $52,768 a year. That's a little over $1,000 a week. That's not too bad. Especially with the cost of living only in 82. You see Tennessee's in 89. Housing's the lowest at 60. Yeah. Cost of living's pretty good here in Tennessee overall. Well, here's a typical street here in Alamo. It's quite nice, isn't it? Look here. That's 2 cats, guys. Oh yeah. Let me give you poverty real quick. 21.2% overall. School-age children, 42%. Ouch, that's high. 4 out of every 10 kids are in poverty. 65 and older, though, 7%. Seems to be a good place for retirement aged folks. Crime's real low. 13 incidents per 1,000 people. Last number, or latest report anyway. Compares to 23 for the U.S. And here's the median home value, $117,000. Housing's pretty inexpensive here. Well, I think we're done here, guys. The next 2 towns I'm going to show you are also county seats, and each one gets more interesting than the last. yeah, I got a couple really interesting cities to show you coming up. So let's head to the next one now. Well, never fails. There's always someone with a tremendous amount of stuff. Well, everyone, I'm entering the town of Trenton. Here's a map. In case you're wondering, yes, this town is named after the city of Trenton, New Jersey, the capital of that state. Here's the population history. Peak population, 4836, down to 4240 in the last census. And the latest estimate has it at 4175. Median age here is 38. Let me give you ethnic breakdown real quick. 62% white, 31% black, 4% Hispanic. The remaining is mixed race. Look at that amazing house. Wow. And you can see county courthouse there in the distance. And that is a magnificent building. You can already tell. Post office right here. And look at that mural. It's really nice. But boy, this is the crown jewel of the town, I would say. Yeah, I'm gonna get out, get a closer look, and tell you about it. Let's do that now. That is the Gibson County Courthouse, built in 1899. It's on the National Register. It is a combination of Classical Revival and Victorian Gothic. And you can see a little bit of both there. You can see the columns. There's the Classical Revival. The Victorian Gothic, it's a style of Gothic developed 1850 to 1900 during Queen Victoria's reign. But it's about different textures versus regular Gothic. You know, Gothic's usually just like stone or marble. You can see that in the colors, like the reddish and gold brick and the gray stone in between in spots. And you see the roof line, it's Gothic. Beautiful clock up there. That is a really unique building. It's absolutely beautiful. The county's named after Colonel John H. Gibson. He fought under Andrew Jackson, General Andrew Jackson, who went on to become president. Let's see what else is here. It looks like they've got a Confederate statue, or monument, that is. Yep, that's what it is. 1861, 1865. Dedicated to the memory of our Confederate soldiers, lest we forget. Gibson County Courthouse, built in 1899, is the fourth one to have occupied this site. The first courthouse was a log structure built in 1824. The year following the organization of the county, a process commenced by David Crockett, who was then a state legislator. The second courthouse, a brick building, erected in 1829. 1839, new brick building was constructed, served until its removal 1899. When this one was built, notables such as James K. Polk and Andrew Johnson spoke at this site. Let me give you a couple numbers. Median household income, $50,645 a year. It's $974 a week. Poverty, 23.2% overall. School-aged children, 25%. Folks 65 and older, 13%. Cost of living's an 81. Housing's at 56. That's the lowest one. Groceries, 97 is the highest one. All right, so I got you that. This is a statue, or maybe a bust, of David Crockett. Pioneer, statesman, hero. Served 3 terms in the Congress of the United States while a resident of this county. Immigrated to Texas in 1835 and was killed at the Alamo, fighting for the independence of Texas. And be sure you're right, then go ahead. Interesting. This is the Trenton Police Department, but right next to it is the Teapot Museum. Trenton has the world's largest collection of nightlight teapots. 525 of them, many of them dating back to the 1700s. And they are quite valuable. Let's go see a few. Yeah, so here they are. Well, let's get a look at a couple. Who wouldn't love having some of these in their house? Yeah, if you understand the way they work is you light them underneath and set the teapot on top. There's a candle underneath. And I guess they act as a nightlight as well as warming the tea up. These are exquisite. Well, here's a closer look at the Trenton Post Office. Built in 1935. It is on the National Register. It is called Classical Revival, but for sure there is some Art Deco mixed in there. Maybe you could even call it New Deal architecture. Anyway, let's get a closer look at this mural, shall we? Alright, so here's a closer look at this mural. It has a nod to the nightlight teapots, and of course the town status as having the most of those in the world. You see that speed limit 31. More on that shortly. There you go. First Monday. Flea market, perhaps? A local can fill us in. Well, there's a dog. I've had some of you say you want dog sightings too. All right. There he is. Or she. All right, you guys, you see that? Speed limit 31 miles per hour. It's one of the things this town is known for. There's several reasons for it. From what I understand, it was established that in the 50s. Some say it was because the city council couldn't agree between 30 or 35. Another reason is it's supposed to be easier for the town's residents to remember. And then yet another reason is 31 miles per hour converts to 50 kilometers per hour. But whatever the reason, yeah, this is the only town in the world where the speed limit throughout the city or the town is 31 miles per hour. Well, I gotta tell you guys, there are a lot of beautiful homes in this town. Crime is 26 incidents per 1,000 last year, compares to 23 for the U.S. So crime was a little high, but not too bad. I just love these houses here. Incredible. Median home value here. Let me give that to you real quick. As soon as I get past this really awesome house. Wow, that is something. Yeah, median home value here is $130,900. Well, this is an old train depot. It's just sitting here empty. It's a damn shame, isn't it? You think they would do something with it. Lots of stuff going on here, isn't there? Yeah, it looks like active train tracks. Interesting. Now, this is a very quiet part of town. Looks kind of abandoned, doesn't it? Some old shops that have closed up. And an abandoned house. Well, I think that's going to be it for here, guys. Oh, look, there's another 31 speed limit sign. Anyway, let's head to the next... Well, it's not a town. It's a small city. So let's head that way now. Well, guys, I am in Jackson, Tennessee. Jackson is the county seat for Madison County. This is the county courthouse, built in 1937. This is what they call PWA Modern, or Public Works Administration. These were developed in the 30s during President Roosevelt's New Deal, and it was his attempt, or the government's attempt, to pull the country out of the Depression with construction projects across the U.S. And as you can see, there's a lot of Art Deco in the design. They've got a David Crockett placard here. On this site in 1831, Congressman Crockett, defeated for re-election, told the citizens of Jackson and Tennessee, "You can go to hell, but I am going to Texas." He went to Texas, where he died in the Battle of the Alamo. Yeah, how about that? That's a beautiful downtown. I drove around a little bit before I parked. By the way, that's City Hall. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? The city, it's got a population of, well, in 2020, 68,205. That was peak population. 2023, or latest census estimate, 68,262. So a few more people. Metro here is 183,680. So it's not a tiny town. I mean, it's not huge, but it's not tiny. Now, let's see what this is here. Another Confederate monument. Here on the grounds, to the Confederate dead, erected 1888. This has been here for a while, hasn't it? Alright, well, now let's look around a bit. Of course, I will give you the numbers of the city. As I'm wandering around the downtown, I've come upon a guy playing the bagpipes. An unexpected pleasure. Not sure why he's doing it. He's just doing it. Huh. Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, dry out.
That's what I say too. All right, anyway, I didn't give you a map yet. How about if I do that? Show you where Jackson is. Median age of this city is 39, exact same as the U.S. Here's the ethnic breakdown. 46% white, 44% black, 5% Hispanic, 1% Asian. The remaining 4% is mixed or other. Median household income, $51,343 a year, $987 a week. Poverty, 21.8 overall. School-age children, 37%. 65 and older, 14%. Those are all a little bit high. Cost of living is an 89, which is exactly the same as the state of Tennessee. All right, let's look around some more. Now, the city is named after President Andrew Jackson, and it's nicknamed the Hub City because of all the railroads that intersected here back in the late 1800s into the early 1900s. This was a huge transportation hub during that time. Some fun little facts. All Pringles, all flavors of Pringles, sold in the United States and in Canada and in Mexico, are manufactured here in Jackson, Tennessee. So if you are a Pringles lover, this is where they came from. Jackson calls itself the birthplace of rockabilly, a type of music that is a blend of country, rock, and R&B. It's real popular in the 40s and 50s. Elvis performed a really cool rockabilly song called Blue Moon of Kentucky. You can watch him perform that right here on YouTube. I suggest checking it out. It's really good. After you watch this video, of course. And then an even better version of that song, yes, I'm saying it, was performed on or by the King of the Hill cast. It was an episode of the show where they performed the song. Hank plays guitar and Boomhauer sings it. And he sings the hell out of it. So check that one out too. It's really good. That is a former Carnegie Library. I want to say built in 1903. It is now a museum that celebrates the music of the area, of which this town is very rich in. There are some that even call this town the birthplace of rock and roll. I don't know about that. Two of this country's greatest restaurateurs, is that how you say it, were born and raised in Jackson. The first one, Joe Rogers, born and raised here. He founded the Waffle House. And then Isaac Tigrit was born and raised here as well. He founded Hard Rock Cafe, and in fact the third Hard Rock Cafe ever opened was opened here in Jackson. There's a big mural celebrating Jackson's role of the birthplace of rockabilly. Rockabilly music born in the dance halls of Jackson, Tennessee. I guess that's Carl Perkins there. Paul McCartney. Interesting. Another well-known person that was born and raised here, Thomas Harris. He created and wrote the Hannibal Lecter books, including The Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, he's from here as well. I haven't given you crime yet, and it's not so good. Last year, 4466 incidents per 100,000 people. U.S. is 2281. So overall crime here is about twice higher than the U.S. I'm showing you the chart right now. Violent crimes 1095. USA is 364, so almost triple. Property crime 3371 versus 1917 for the U.S. Yeah, they've got an issue with crime here, even though they have been improving it. There have been times in the past 20-30 years when Jackson was in the top 10 nationally in crime. That's not the case now. I was walking past this alley and I saw that they have some artwork here. Again, it looks like it's celebrating rockabilly music. Well, I bet Budweiser loves that advertising. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, this is said to be the most photographed building in the city of Jackson. An old Greyhound bus stop, built in 1938. This is Art Deco. Well, I've wandered into some residential just north, or just outside of downtown, that is. That beautiful old Gothic church. Let me give you a median home value, $238,900. Yeah, so a little bit more expensive here than the other towns. Well, a little bit farther out of downtown. And this is what it starts to look like. Yeah, it's really nice. Alright everyone, so that's going to be the end of this one. Yes, I know Nicole was supposed to be in this video, but we went out to eat last night at a Mexican place. And this morning she woke up with Montezuma's Revenge. I'm fine. I've got a cast iron stomach. It takes a lot to make me sick. But anyway, that's why she's not here. But she will be in some future ones. Up next, we are heading deeper into Tennessee. I'm actually going to go to the spot where Tennessee and Kentucky and Virginia meet. A little spot there. I've always wanted to see what it looks like. So that's where I'm going, and I'm going to show it to you. So I hope to see you guys there.